On the last video I said that I'd be showing you on the next video the overflow for the fry tanks. These are 2 fry tanks. They're pretty cheap, they weren't that expensive. Just about 3 foot long, holds plenty of water. Anyway, so I've got one already set up. That's going to be the overflow. It's about 10 inches high. We don't want the water any higher than that. Keep it quite low so it keeps its temperature better. This is the system I'm going to use. So this, excuse me, reaching over. So it's going to sit like that, and then it'll connect to the other tank, which I've got to drill a hole through the side for, which I'm going to show you now. And then I'll show you connecting the inside bit up and it all up and running. So just bear with me 2 seconds. Pop it on the tripod. Right, so I'm just going to drill a hole. This is a 38mm hole saw bit. The pipe is 32 internal mil, so obviously the outside is thicker, so the 38mm isn't quite big enough. There we go, easy enough to do. So now I just need to get the file on there. Get all these burrs off, because you don't want that, and make the hole a little bit bigger. Find a bit of pipe and I'll show you. So it doesn't quite fit in. Which is fitting. This has got a screw thread on it. It's got a screw thread on it. Just needs to go in that hole there. But as you can see, it's too tight. So just get our little file. Right, let's see if that now goes in that hole. It may not, because it took a couple of goes on the other tank. I did that one. Yeah. Just needs a little bit more. I find a slightly rounded file works better than a flat file, because you're obviously going around the hole. But obviously if all you've got is a flat file, then that would have to do. Now, a touch more. Hopefully that does it. Take all these burrs off. We'll do it in a second. Let's just check it goes in. Go around the belt. There we go. And that one's in. See? Nice fit in there. And then this bit, the cap for it, just screws on the inside. I'll just tilt this box this way. You may be able to see it. Right. So there's the bit. One connector in the tank already, and that one just screws over the top to make your seal. But obviously first I've got to do a hole in that. go and get my spade bit. And I think it was 22mm spade bit, which is 22mm spade bit, just the right size for the pipe. So let's see if I can do this without drilling my fingers. Put that one out there. Get our drill bit. Get our drill. Pop it in the driver. Screw the connector back together. Because it'd be easier to do it that way round than trying to do it just a little bit on its own. Move the tub out of the way. You may not be able to see this. Let's try this one-handed. So what we're going to do, sorry, first what I should have said was you need to drill a pallet hole in the cap, in the end cap there, so that when you put your spade bit in, if you can put the middle of the spade bit into the drilled hole. So I'll do this and I'll be right back. Here we go, pallet hole in the middle. Now our spade bit will go in there and it'll just make it easier to drill the hole out for the pipe to go into, which I'll do just now. Right, so put the spade back into the drill, into the driver, sorry. And all we're going to do is slowly drill it out. Make sure your spade bit is nice and tight. You don't want it slipping. There we go. Hey presto, one hole. Now, this pipe should fit into there nice and snugly, which it does. Okay. So that is our overflow now. All connected. Now all we have to do, again, is take the burrs off the inside of the hole. Our hole, which is here. Take the burrs off the inside of it. As it's thin plastic, I would normally use a knife, but it comes off reasonably easy with just your nail. There's not much on there really. Right, let's disconnect this. What I need is a rubber washer for here, which I don't have. I've got one on the other tank, but not on this one. So what I might have to do, resort to doing, is put a piece of silicone, a bit of silicone around it, just to get a nice seal on it. So first what I've got to do is glue this pipe, the overflow pipe, into that cap. So we'll just take it out again. So this pipe here needs to be glued into that cap. So we're just going to use some fast flow, sorry. And all we're going to do, around the end of the pipe, so do one on there, put that down, go a bit more. You'll always glue both halves of the pipe if you're doing pipe work on a pond. I would normally take the burrs off this, but as this is only an overflow for waste, it's not that important. So I just put that in there now. And all this sealing is just the very edge. So what I did on the other one, to get more contact surface, I just glued around the edge there as well. What I might end up doing is put a bit of silicone around it if we get a drip, but as I said, an overflow, it's not that important really. So we'll put that to one side dry, because that needs about 20 minutes or so. It doesn't take that long to initially go off, but to get a good seal, it takes about 20 minutes. As I'm not keeping off the pond. Right, so what we're going to do now is connect these two tanks up, and I'll explain what we're going to do with them. So that's just going to go like that. Tank needs to come a bit closer. So it goes in like that. And both tanks are connected. We can do both water changes at the same time. And what's going to happen is I'm going to build a frame for these two tanks for next year. They're going to sit over here. Ignore the rubbish, that won't be there. But they're going to sit on a frame over here because it gets nice and sunny and nice and warm. So that's why there's a gap in between, which I will show you. I also found my piece of wood. I've got it over here. Quick look at the fishies. They're oranges, but we don't seem to know what to do with them. They've had a little bit of food today, they're just getting colder. I'm not feeding them that much. Anyway, this is another piece of wood, because this is the wood we're going to use to build our frame. So I just slide it into there. There we go. I slide it into there, then you get some sort of idea. They're going to be framed and insulated. Got loads of insulation left. I'll show you. So loads of insulation left. 25mm. We're just going to insulate around the tanks. I know it's going to be summer, spring and summer, but I still want them insulated so it retains their heat better. As you can see, that's what we're going for. Right, so this end here now, I need to cut another piece of pipe to run down to here, just for now. And then once I've framed them up into the final position, I'll work out a drop so that we can put a bucket underneath, so that if any fry do get caught in the system, they'll go into the bucket and we can just fish them back out. Right, the reason for doing this is these two tubs, even though they're great for keeping fry in, they're really difficult to clean or do water changes on as they are. Because I use my siphon, but as fish are really, really small when they're first born, obviously, they get sucked up. And for some odd reason, goldfish seem to like, or fry seem to like the siphon and always get attracted to it. So we end up sucking up loads, which usually ends up with them dead somewhere down the line. So this is going to be a much better solution for the problem. They won't get caught up in here because that's just going to skim around the edge and overflow. I'll go cut that piece of pipe and then we'll fill these up and you'll see exactly what I mean. What I'll do is I'll just fill this one because obviously that one over there is still drying off. And you'll see how it's going to work. Okay, I'll go and cut that piece of pipe now. Just bear with me 2 seconds. Right, piece of pipe cut. You can use anything to cut the pipe really. You can get pipe cutters from your local plumber or local DIY outlet. I just use an old handsaw or chop saw sometimes, miter saw, whatever you want to call it. Do this one handy without dropping the phone in the pond. So that's going to sit in there like that in the final. And then there'll be an elbow down into another piece of pipe and into a bucket. But for now, what I'll do is we'll just fill this up here and just watch that drain out. I'm just going to get my hose pipe. Right, so I've got my hose pipe. Let's move it to the other side of the pond, otherwise the water would run into the pond. I don't want that. So it's just filling up now. And what I'll do is I'll turn it down when it gets to level. I'll turn it down to the speed it's going to run at when we're trickling in through our dechlorinator, and you'll see just how much is going in and just how much is coming out, and you should get some idea as to you'll get the idea that the fry will not go over the edge and get sucked into the overflow. So just give that a couple of minutes to fill up. While it does fill up, we've still got fish available if you're in need of any or would like any. It's a bit too late in the year now to put pond fish in. I know it's going to be nice this week. I'm not too sure what the weather's going to be like next week. If you're quick, then yeah, you could possibly put some in this week. But we've still got fish available for tanks. If you've got a tank, we've got some smaller fish and some bigger fish. Obviously, it all depends on how big your tank is and how many you'd like. All the prices are on Gumtree. If you'd like to look at our adverts on there, the link is on the top of the YouTube video, or on the top of the YouTube page. It'll take you straight to the advert. Plus, if you like this sort of content and you'd like to see more, please subscribe, like and follow. If you have any comments or any suggestions or anything really to say about this or any of the other videos, please feel free to comment below. And we're just getting there with the water. The other reason to frame these up is they do bow out quite a bit when it gets water in. As I said, they weren't most expensive tubs in the world. They're a bit flimsy, but they do the job. We've raised 3 lots of fry in here this year in these 2 tubs, and they're indoors at the minute. Well, 2 lots are indoors, one lot is in the garage. We're just about coming up to the top. Obviously it's going to come out quite quick, but what I will do is slow it down when it gets to the top, and then you can see just how fast it's going to flow in and flow out. What we'll do is we'll feed in from the opposite corner, so it'll come up. This is all for next year, next spring and summer. I just thought as I had some time, I'd do it now. So it's just coming to the top. So it's just going to act just like a, there we go, water goes to the top. Right, let's pop down, turn the water off, down, real low. But that's going to act just like a skimmer. If you have a skimmer on your pond, you'll know what sort of, how that sort of works out. Next to those pussycats come for a look. Very shy, this one. Right, so I'll turn the water down. Let's go and have a look, see how fast the water's coming out. It will take a couple of minutes to settle. Obviously there was a lot of water in there. See, that's coming out too fast now. Take the hose pipe out. No, that's still too fast. Then you just pop back down and turn it right down. Once it goes through the dechlorinator, that slows it down anyway. At some point I've got to put the dechlorinator in its final position, but I haven't worked out where that's going yet. But I might buy 2 or 3 so that I can put them in different places. Right, that should have it. Yeah, by the time that's gone through the dechlorinator, that'll be really slow. Can you see? Just trickling over the top now. That should stop any fry getting caught. And it's just trickling out the pipe. This isn't final position at all. This is just a demonstration, just to show you that it works. And obviously, it's going to be coming from 2 tanks because we're going to do them both at the same time, which will make life a lot easier and a lot quicker. So anyway, I hope you liked the video. I hope you understand exactly what we're doing and why we're doing it and how we've gone about it. As I said, if you've got any comments, any suggestions, if you didn't understand anything, I can talk a bit quick, and it can be a bit confusing sometimes. If you're unsure about having a go at this yourself, then just have a go. It doesn't cost a great deal, really. I think all the fittings and pipe work came to £30 from the local plumber. This is 32 mil. Yeah, 32 mil. Goes on there. 32 mil waste pipe. You can get it anywhere. And these are just 90s. And there's a T just down there. And then these are end stops because they didn't have any tank connectors. So, but as you saw, I just drilled out the middle, and it works perfectly fine with the seal in there. On this one here, I'm going to have to run some silicone on the inside, but that should be fine, perfectly fine. Those two 90s are going to get, these two 90s are going to get glued, and then the rest of the system is just going to be free hanging. Same on this one. This one will get glued, and then the rest of the system is just free hanging. That way, when I come to put it away in the winter, just go back into storage. The whole thing can come apart, and there's no problem. So, instead of gluing the whole thing together. Anyway, as I said, I hope you like this. Please subscribe and click like if you like it. If you don't like it, then don't click like. Simple. And I'll see you on the next one. Next one, I'm not too sure what we're going to do. Maybe something with the baby fry, baby goldfish, but we'll see. Anyway, speak to you later. Bye.